Number 1. Did you know glass isn't quite a solid? It looks hard and solid, but scientists describe glass as an amorphous solid, which means its atoms aren't arranged in a neat crystal pattern like most solids. Because of that, some people say glass behaves like a super slow-moving liquid. But here's the truth. At normal temperatures, glass is basically solid and doesn't flow like a liquid you can see. So why the confusion? Old windows in very ancient buildings are sometimes thicker at the bottom, which made people think the glass slowly flowed downward over time. In reality, that thickness usually came from how glass was made back then, not because it melted. So glass is kind of in between. Not a regular solid, not a liquid, but something unique and fascinating. Number 2. Did you know some metals can explode in water? It sounds crazy, but it's true. Certain metals, like sodium, react instantly when they touch water. Here's what happens. The metal reacts with water and releases hydrogen gas. At the same time, it creates a lot of heat very quickly. That heat can ignite the hydrogen gas, causing a mini explosion. Some metals react even more violently. They can spark, pop, or even burst into flames. That's why scientists handle these metals very carefully in labs. So next time you think of metal, remember, some of them are way more exciting than they look. Number 3. Did you know Saturn could float in water? The planet Saturn is huge, but it's also surprisingly light for its size. Here's why. Saturn is made mostly of hydrogen and helium gas, which are much less dense than solid rock or metal. If you could find a giant enough ocean, Saturn would actually be less dense than water, meaning it would float like a giant balloon planet. But don't try to imagine it splashing in water. Saturn is so massive that it would still crush anything nearby with its gravity long before anything touched it. And here's another cool part. Saturn's famous rings are made of ice and rock chunks, stretching out for thousands of kilometers. So even though it looks solid and strong, Saturn is actually a giant gas ball with a floating secret. Number 4. Did you know sloths are so slow plants grow on them? Sloths move so slowly that green algae actually grows on their fur. But here's the cool part, it's not a problem, it's an advantage. The algae turns their fur greenish, helping them blend into the trees and hide from predators. And it gets even crazier. Tiny insects and organisms can live in their fur too, like a mini jungle on their body. Sloths only come down from trees about once a week, so they spend most of their lives just hanging out, literally. So being slow isn't always bad. For sloths, it's their superpower for survival. Number 5. Did you know you share DNA with a banana? It sounds crazy, but humans share about 60% of their DNA with bananas. But don't worry, you're not part banana. This just means that many basic life functions are similar in all living things. Things like how cells grow, make energy, and stay alive use some of the same genetic instructions. That's because all living things on Earth are connected through evolution over millions of years. So even though you don't look like a banana, deep inside, your cells have something in common. Number 6. Did you know a day on Venus is longer than its year? On Venus, one full spin on its axis takes about 243 Earth days. But going all the way around the Sun only takes about 225 Earth days. That means a single day on Venus is longer than its entire year. But wait, it gets even weirder. Venus spins backwards compared to most planets. So if you stood on Venus, the Sun would actually rise in the west and set in the east. So while Earth days feel long, on Venus, a single day feels like it lasts forever. Number 7. Did you know frogs don't drink water with their mouths? Instead of sipping water, like we do, frogs absorb it through their skin. They have a special area called a drinking patch on their belly and thighs. When they sit in water, it soaks right into their body. But that's not all. Their skin is super important. It also helps them breathe. Because their skin is so absorbent, frogs need clean water to survive. If the water is polluted, it can go straight into their bodies. So next time you see a frog sitting in a pond, it might actually be drinking just by sitting there. For more videos like this, please follow, share, and leave a comment.